Deion said, well, I don't know, like I said, but it reported, he said that there are women out there that do their homework on guys. I mean, because now the salaries are, and you can just Google.
Yes, you can Google stuff, yeah.
And you can just, he makes this, and he has the endorsement over there, and he does this and that.
Especially with NILs now too.
Right. Huh? You know about that?
Mm-hmm. It's public record.
Oh, it's public record, huh?
Public knowledge. Because I mean, these college athletes are getting money. Why are they driving Maybachs? That's an NIL, baby.
Yeah.
Come on now. You're not dumb.
Could you date a normal? Could you date a guy that's not a professional athlete or that's not in athletics?
I don't even see myself dating an athlete again.
Really? Why?
Well, because something you said earlier.
I don't know what I said earlier.
Okay,
I don't have a recall like you that can remember everything that happened in their life.
Because there's a lot of men who are not willing to make that jump, and when there are things that are public, a public figure has to take into account what is the risk versus reward with dating this girl and having her on my arm, having her at the ESPYs. There's a lot of men that would not sign up for that, and I feel the type of men that maybe there's a good chance it's like kind of opposite things. It's like either someone super young that's new and doesn't care, or someone who's already established, doesn't give a f and do what they want to do. And I just, either one, it's just kind of like, eh.
Right.
I really don't see myself with another athlete. I'm not gonna say never, never say never, because I don't want the love of my life to be a freaking athlete, and I gotta eat these words. But I just don't see it. I don't see a man having the courage to not only take a risk with me. Because that's what love is.
What's the risk?
Well, in love, it's a 50-50 risk. It's every person across the board. But I think that I am very vocal. But I also have not met any men that, number one, see my value. And if they see it, they don't understand it. So that's why I don't really see.
So in other words, when a man can't look outside of what he sees right here and what he
Well, this is going to fade. So what else? So
right.
what makes me different than the girl that the builder down who's willing to do whatever and let you cheat in private, or I'm sorry, in private, let you cheat in private and
right.
do whatever. Like, beauty is fleeting. That's why there has to be more going on.
Right.
That's why I open my mouth and I speak and I stand for something, because
right.
this is, again, I'm always going to be beautiful because I'm beautiful in here, but yeah, we all get older, and I don't want to bank on my looks. Mm-hmm. Why would anybody want to do
right.
that?
But I think now, if someone, it's hard for me to imagine a scenario, and I do hope you find, I think everybody deserves that if they're wanting of that, and it seems to me, as I sit here and talk to you, that you are someone that's very passionate about finding love. And I think the thing is that person knows who you are. They know some of the things that you've done. So that person that wants to be with Brittany Renner, they're gonna know what she's done and be okay with that. Yeah. Do you think it's hard for that? Is it hard for an athlete? Because athletes are very prideful, and and don't take this the wrong way, but they kind of like, that's mine. And to know that that package has been unwrapped by somebody else on multiple occasions, it doesn't sit well with. I'm gonna keep it one. You say keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
But then you have to go back to when there was the Derek Jeter diamond. That's what my track record's like. But Derek Jeter gets a segment on ESPN where they have his dating history in the. Let me finish though.
No, I ain't saying nothing.
You was thinking it. You were
thinking
thinking it.
I'll get some water because I'm sweating in here.
Because my dating pool is, I mean, my
expansive.
God, impressive, expansive. I've had sex with 35 guys. Okay.
Whew. Oh, Lord.
Impressive isn't the word. So if I'm judged for
Anybody else need a shot of this?
If I'm judged for having great taste.
We are in the bar, so help yourself. We got this for the next hour. Woo.
If I'm judged for having great taste, although someone like Derek Jeter, for example, who had his dating diamond.
Why would you feel a need that you can be honest to yourself? I know how many men I slept with. That ain't for everybody else. But why did you feel why did you feel that needs to be for public consumption? That's I mean, the crux of this. That's what you mind if I sit to the edge of my seat?
You don't gotta ask for permission. This is your
Why would you feel the need to share that information with the public? Some things. or left best unsaid?
That's what I hear. Probably the same reason that I wrote a book, because I felt called to share. There are some things that maybe moving forward I would keep to myself, but I mean, I just told you I had sex with 35 guys. That's an updated number for people who have been following the number for years now. So
now, I mean, obviously guys slide in your DM trying to holler. Do you slide in guys' DM?
not anymore.
You used to?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Probably there were probably 2 or 3 guys over the span of being like 22 to now.
Right.
Probably about 3 guys.
Did they respond?
Of course they did. Well, there are some that didn't respond, but that was.
They left you on red?
There are some guys left me on red, but it was like right after my breakup with my child's father, and I was kind of being facetious. Yeah, that wasn't nice.
You try to be, see you. Why you do that?
But anyways.
Why you did? No, ain't no anyways. I want to know why. Why would you do
I'm
that?
like, well, shit, I'm ready to move on.
No, good, but
No, honestly, I didn't understand the magnitude of what I was about to go through, and I'm like, oh, I'm single, you know, he's moved on. Like, why is it different for both of us? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we share a young child,
right.
So why is me having a young child or whatever? But that whole situation being completely demonized, I had no idea what I was doing when I was trying to, like, here and there, just like telling guys they were just fine. That was just kind of it. It wasn't
right.
like, yeah, we should, whatever. It was just like, I've always wanted to tell you this. I think.
But you know, like basketball players are off limits, right? NBA players, any NBA players off limits.
Right.
No, you can't do that. You try to do
the whole sport.
The whole sport, the whole NBA. You got to go to Europe. You got to go to Europe.
Better go learn Chinese, buddy. Hell no.
You know that's going, man. How that's, Britt? You know what that's gonna do?
What do you mean?
Cause
a whole sport?
Yes. And besides, you say you done with athletes anyway.
Mm-hmm. I mean, trust me, I ain't losing any sleep over it.
Because no, you got to stay away from them. Because it's gonna be, because people assume, and this might not even be the case. You might sincerely love him. He might sincerely love you. Yeah. But you know how it's gonna be portrayed. Oh, she's trying to get back at it, and he probably will take it as if you trying to get at me.
What I've had to take accountability for is that I had to shrink myself to fit into a world of his that I was never meant to fit in. And you have to understand, this goes back to the pattern of when I was at Jackson State.
Okay.
I abandoned everything, left my whole life, moved across the country, going back to Michigan. I lived in Woodland Hills, had my condo, had my Benz. Left California, moved to Charlotte to be with him. The same pattern 10 years later. Because again, here I am thinking that a man is gonna fix it. This is the missing piece to my puzzle. So despite what people think about the complete buffoonery that has gone on between him and I, that is never anything I wanted. I had to stand up for myself after months of being lied on, that I was faking it all along and all these different things. This is such a popular topic years later because the lie ran around the world. So did it hurt initially when the guy that I thought was my guy proposes to the next person? Absolutely. That's happened to me a couple times. So it's one of those triggering things where, full transparency, you're like, well, what's wrong with me? Why wasn't I enough? And then we start to internalize why it didn't work out. I've sat down with his fiance. We've had a 4-hour conversation out for brunch. And I think they're a perfect match for each other, quite frankly. So why would I be jealous or envious of a life that I walked away from? But the other side of that coin is understanding that was never my guy. We were meant to have our incredible son together. He's literally changed my life in every way. I grew deeper empathy after having a son for men. But that's why I can't get upset. I get upset at how I'm treated.
How you're portrayed.
You lied on me. That's what bothers me, is that you lied on me. You try to make it seem like something it wasn't. That was hurtful. But other than that, like, I'm happy for you. Blessings on your journey.
I heard you just say that what he said about you bothered you, the portrayal of you bothers you, have you thought about when your son is of age and he can hear some of the things that you said about some of the things that you've done in your past? Have you thought about how that's gonna impact him?
Of course I've thought about it. But as much as I love my son, I love myself. I can't saturate myself for my child. I have to still be true to myself, because outside of being his mother, I'm Brittany Renner. I was Brittany Renner before he got here, and I'm gonna be Brittany Renner no matter what. My son could grow up and, oh, my mom, all these terrible things, she's the worst person ever. So I have to be at peace with the things that I've done and let my son make his own choice,
Right.
his own decisions. But I'm not going to not live my life the way that, again, because to question how I am is to question God. And people may not like the way that, like how my expression is, the way I carry myself, the things that I say and how I say it, but you're still questioning God.
When are you guys going to make peace for the sake of your child?
That's not up to me. I've done everything in my power. I've exhausted all options. I told you I've sat down with her before.
Mm-hmm. Because I think that's a great thing to do, because if they're going to be together, she's going to be in your son's life. And no matter what he might think of you, the relationship, the dynamic of who you are will never change. You'll always be the mother of his child.
Yeah, and honestly, for me, I would much rather my son have a stable woman over there instead of him having a bunch of girls in and out. So she has never been my enemy.
Right.
It's him. But what it's going to take is for him to accept what is. We're still going through the court system now for child support, custody stuff. So it's nasty.
Right.
It's just nasty. I have tried everything. There's nothing more I can do.
You don't mind me asking if it's too personal, say that's none of your business, and I'm quite right.
I told you I'm an open book, Shannon.
You have the child. The child is with you.
We live in a fair state. North Carolina is a fair state, so we both have joint custody.
Right. So it's not like you could just you live in California, you can just bring the child with you.
Well, I would never do that.
Right.
I grew up without my dad. I would never want my son to be without his father. He needs his dad.
Okay.
He has PJ's name, Paul Jermaine Washington III.
Right.
Why would I want to take that away?
Right.
But see, that's another misconception people have about me, that I'm just super spiteful and that I would take our son and that he doesn't see him. No. Just another lie.
What's been the coolest thing about motherhood?
Let's see.
And is it what you thought it would be?
It's much different than I thought it would be. I don't know.
In what way?
Them videos and pictures? What's one of the ways it's different? Well, I would say when I first had my baby, I think there's this idea that the baby just comes out like loving you. You are the greatest thing, unconditional love pouring into you. And I learned that although with breastfeeding there is that exchange, the connection, still pouring in, still showing up. When my son comes and hands me a book, no matter what is on, no matter what we're doing, I'm stopping and I'm reading the book because I care about building the bond. So I think people underestimate the effort that still requires, that still goes into your baby. Just because they're your kid doesn't mean that they're just gonna love you. I would say my favorite thing though is watching him just navigate the world. I think he is very curious. When he sees a plane in the sky or if he sees a butterfly, we have bird feeders. I love feeding the birds. So just seeing him interact with the world around him and what he likes to talk about, it's really cool to me.
Right.
Yeah, like what he's into.
You talking about, we got bird feeders. You trying to be a Stepford wife? You try to be like moving to the suburbs?
But I try to tell you that the more than meets the eye. So I love birds, and I think my favorite thing about birds are that they can go anywhere in the world. So if they visit your backyard, that's very sacred. And I love that no matter what time in the day, in the morning, if it's 4 o'clock, it doesn't matter if it sounds off pitch, if it's too early, they have a song. So that's why I really love birds, and it's an honor to feed them. People wouldn't know that about me.
How difficult has it been, or is it, dating as a single mom?
I think one of my complaints is that I've attracted more men without kids as a mom. And I'm just like, oh God, is it a deal breaker if I don't want to have any more?
Right.
You know, I love my baby.
You don't want any more kids?
I had a really
Tough
time. I gained 50 pounds. And I've been in the gym for the last...
Where?
My boobs, my ass, my stomach, like stretch mark. It was a lot. The abdominal separation. I would say I'm just now starting to feel comfortable in cropped, like actually showing my whole stomach or a bikini. Mm-hmm. And obviously I have nothing done to my body. I'm natural, but it was very hard on me. And I just, even if we were to get married, like, why do we
Why you gonna deny him? He want his lineage. He want his seed. He want a namesake. I'm not saying it's gonna be Darrell Williams III or the Darrell Williams Jr., but he's gonna want his. What if he wants his namesake? Would you deny him that?
I think that's something I'm navigating. I'm not gonna say if I met my Mr. Wonderful, I wouldn't want to give him a child, but
what if he wanted more than one?
You know what's really difficult is
What?
Because I'm 31.
Yeah.
I have a baby.
Yeah.
I have.
You good until you're 50. I mean, women now in today's time, they having babies all the way up to 50.
No, but.
So you got
this may be a belief. This may be my own belief that's hindering me. So I'm not saying that this couldn't just be my own belief, but this is my prime time. This is my. You need to make your next move your best move.
Right.
There are no hiccups. That's just kind of how more so I'm moving with.
So you're dating with a purpose now. Ain't no more just dating to date. I'm dating to get married. If you ain't trying to do that, get to stepping.
Yes.
Get to stepping.
And I think I've seen a lot of people say, well, now all of a sudden you want to do that. And it's just, okay, well, I told you I hit my head on down the steps a bunch of times.
Right. I ain't falling no more.
And listen, and the thing is I'm a logical person. It ain't working.
Right.
You know, so, and having a deeper understanding of myself and really understanding my value and craving more than just, okay, I just want someone who is this type of status. I just want someone on my arm who really craving that substance and meaning even more than I always have. It's just like, I'm not so much shallow dating anymore.
I don't think you're just shallow dating, but it's just hard for me to, as I sit here and look across at you, I just don't see you with a 9-to-5 guy.
Okay. I mean.
And you know what's attracted to you. See, the moth, he already knows what's going to happen to the flame, but he can't help it. The attraction is too great. He's going to that flame even though he knows how it's going to end. You can't help what you're attracted to, Britt.
There has to be some accountability. There has to be accountability where it's like you can like certain things, but are we compatible? Yes or no? Because if you're not going to, the only flex is devotion. So just like you said, you made the comment about athletes.
Yeah.
I can be as open-minded as I want to be across the board, whether it's 9-to-5 or dating. Which man is going to be devoted to me? And there is a greater percentage that an athlete's going to be unfaithful to me. So that's why for me, I have to take the blinders off. I'm not saying he can't still be, high-stepping in his own right, but...
Britt, what you are attracted to, you can't help it. You've been there. I'm not saying just basketball player. I'm saying baseball. I'm saying football. It might be soccer. It might be something. But that's what you are attracted to, and you cannot help it. You can fight it, but you cannot deny it.
Okay, I hear you loud and clear. A lot of the regular guys that I've attracted still have an athletic background. So
Nah. I ain't talking about high school. I ain't talking about college. You know what I'm
I'm
talking
talking about
about.
guys who have played in college.
Yeah, I'm
they
saying-
still have an athletic background, so it's like no matter.
I'm talking about professional, MLB, NFL, NBA, MLS, the PBR, NASCAR. Stop it, Brett. We grown up in here. You know what you're attracted to. They know what they're attracted to.
I cannot tell a lie. I've had a very magical time with a trainer in Austin, Texas, and we had a great time. We held hands, got tacos, and it was one of the most fun moments that I
And then
have.
what?
Well, I was flirting with someone on Twitter publicly, and it changed things.
Why would you do it, Brett? Why?
Because you're not my man.
What he was trying to be, and you ruined it.
No, he wasn't my guy anyways.
But no, he was trying to be your guy. You ruined it. You said you want true love.
But okay, hold on.
You self-sabotaging.
No, don't do that. I was in therapy for 6 years. No self-sabotage for this.
You had a guy. He's holding your hand. He's taking you to get
Okay.
tacos. You getting a lemon drop. You getting margaritas, and then you flirting publicly. Is that not self-sabotage?
It's not self-sabotage. This was, what was the timeline? It was about a year after my split with my child's father. And
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I've never just dated. So how I would do was I'm going to talk to one guy at a time. Aside from that video where I told you all the different guys. Them all just recycle. But anyways, I would talk to one guy at a time.
Okay.
And it wasn't effective. It didn't work. So I was like, okay, I'm pouring all my eggs into one person at a time, not getting my desired outcome.
That's what you're supposed to do.
What?
One basket at a time.
Okay, from one perspective, but when you are talking about modern dating, most men are not dating one woman at a time. So where does
That ain't got nothing to do with you.
Well, it's my. If there's a potential.
But you said you believe in true love. So what somebody else is doing? You said that guy was taking you to get tacos. So was he dating
He's
more
gonna
than one?
see this and be like, oh,
No.
you're talking about tacos. Oh.
Was he
Wait.
dating? Forget
Okay,
what
okay.
else they're doing. I'm talking about him specifically. Was he dating more than one?
Yes.
Okay, well, I ain't got no. Well, you did what you did.
I mean, what am I supposed to do? It's like I'm being faithful to an idea, and he's doing whatever he wants to do, and that's why you're taking your time.
So that's
to
why
reply.
that's why you was flirting.
No, this was a person that I've always loved and I cared about, and I just was like, from my understanding, I thought I was dating wrong. I'm like, why am I just talking to one guy at a time? Clearly, there are women out here who are going on dates, not having sex with all the guys they're dating,
Right.
going on different dates, trying different things out, going to dinner, going wherever. I'm not doing something right. So that's when I was like, you know what? Let me try something new. And I don't have to have sex with all the guys I'm speaking with. Like,
Right.
I can go on dates and go get tacos. That did. There are different rules when you're in the limelight. You know what I mean? And I know after that, I'm like, well, damn, like I would have felt some type of way if he would have did that to me.
Right.
So that's when I took from that situation of, okay, I tried the multiple guy thing, didn't work for me. Not gonna listen to what modern dating is about on TikToks or podcasts. I'm not listening to that. If I'm talking to a guy, it's gonna be him. And that vetting process is very short-lived most of the time, because they are not the guys. They just.
What's your
haven't been
number
my
one
guy.
turn off?
I'd say inconsistency, because lying is like that's so typical. Like that's obviously number one, but.
So you want to do the call? You want to do the call you every day, a couple of times a day, check in. Hey, Brett, how you doing?
It doesn't have to be a couple times, but I would like
At
to
least
be-
once a day.
Yeah, like I mean, send me a good morning text and then like let's recap maybe later in the day. I would prefer to talk on the phone. I'm not. I feel like younger people love like FaceTiming and stuff, but
Yeah.
I like just I have my headphones in. We can just talk on the phone or
Right.
put you on speaker while I'm doing my makeup or something. But yeah, it's just kind of like limited to text messaging. That's just been my experience.
Right.